Hi, everybody. I'm Jennifer Tryon. Thank you for tuning in. We are launching something super cool tonight. It's our, I'm very excited for our 2024 Block of the Month Club. This is new for Homemade. It's under brand if you're looking for it. It's new for Homemade. We're just trying to get the graphic up here to show you. Up a little further, up. There we go. Down. We're finding the graphic. There it is. Yay! The 2024 Block of the Month Club. We are making the Barn Star Quilt. I'm going to make one block live tonight. And that's sort of how we're going to do this Block of the Month Club. It's going to run once a month. We are going to send you, or if you're local, you're going to pick up your block once a month. And by the end of the year, we'll have made this entire Barn Star quilt. And I'm going to do a free live Monday nights, the last Monday of the month. And what's so great about this is it's just kind of one block, 2 blocks at a time. Actually, we are going to ship you enough for 2 blocks in the 1 month. And we're also the first month going to send you this book. This is the Barn Star sampler book that everyone's going to get. And it basically breaks down the Barn Star sampler quilt. Plus you get the patterns for 4 more quilts in the back, which are equally lovely. Beautiful stuff for quilts, wall hangings, table runners. It's like traditional without being too traditional. And modern without being too modern. This is what I love about this book. And so we're going to send you look at this one. This is gorgeous. We're going to send you this book in the first month, along with the fabric for the first blocks that we're doing. And then every month after that, we are going to send you, or you're going to pick up, whichever, the material for the next block. So each month, so the first month we're doing block 1, and some of the blocks you have to make 2 of. So in block, the first month, this is what we're making. Look at how big. It's one of those big center ones. Isn't it gorgeous? There is over 21 yards of fabric in this kit. It's enormous. But we're going to break down what you need every single month and send it to you, or you can pick it up in store. And so your initial registration fee is $159.95. So that's what you can register for today. That gets you in the club, and that gets you the book. We're going to send you the first month's blocks, all of the fabric. Plus, we're going to send you a spool of Deco Bob, because we're going to try piecing this quilt with Deco Bob. So if you're first time using Deco Bob, you're going to get that too. And then every month after that, it's $39.95 a month. And we're going to ship it to you, no cost, or you can come and pick it up. And the last Monday of the month, we are going to sew together. So let's get started, because I'm going to kind of give you a little taste, if you haven't tuned in to any of these lives before, of what it's like to sew along with me. And this is what we'll do during the Block of the Month Club, is we'll get together last Monday of the month, and we'll make one of these blocks, or 2 of these blocks, whatever it calls for. So tonight I'm going to skip ahead because we only have an hour. So I'm going to skip ahead to block number 14, and this is the pinwheel block that I'm going to make tonight. And I've already gone ahead and cut it out. And so I've gone ahead and cut it out and labeled it. And in your first kit, you're going to get some organizational stickers like this, so that we keep you nice and organized throughout your entire Block of the Month experience. At Homemade, the box is going to be great, that you'll get it and you're just going to squeal with excitement. And what I like about the Block of the Month is, yes, you get the initial big one at first, and then subsequently every month, the rest will keep coming. So it's not a big daunting thing you have to do right away. So let's get going. I'm going to start here. This particular block, you know, like every block has a lot of half square triangles. So I am using the SoQ laser. So I avoid having to draw the lines on the squares. I've got the laser attached to my machine, but I'm just going to calibrate. It's just plastic, and you basically just put your needle down and line it up just like this. Before I do this, though, I'm going to switch out my needle plate because I'm going to be piecing here, and I've installed already, actually, the HP foot because I'm using the Janome 6700P for this, and it comes with the HP foot, which is so perfect for that scant 1/4 inch. So that's what I'm going to be using to sew this entire quilt together is the HP foot. I love it for piecing. It's just a beautiful 1/4 inch seam. So before I do anything, I'll switch out that stitch plate to the HP plate. And then what happens now is there's a sensor in here, and only the stitches that are available, like only the HP, the high performance stitches are now available. So I'm going to be quilting. It knows it because I put this plate on here, and automatically I'm getting that perfect scant 1/4 inch. Just threading. I've got Deco Bob in the needle as my thread. And now with my needle down, I'm going to just butt this SoQ laser template up against the needle. The presser foot is up. And I'm going to turn on the laser. And so you can kind of see. And as soon as you get it lined up with that center line, sorry, my elbow. When you get it lined up with that center line, then you can kind of screw the laser in place. It's always available to move around. So if it comes out of line, you just line it right back up. So there, we're in line. Just going to screw that in place. There we go. So now I don't have to draw any of the lines onto anything, any of the half square triangles. I'm good to go. And you can just turn the laser on and off as you need it. Okay, so this is what we're going to do in the Block of the Month Club. We're going to get our pieces so you can have them cut out ahead of time so that we're sewing together. The cutting's fairly straightforward, mostly just squares. And we're going to start with A and B, and we're going to make 4 half square triangles. So I can take off my stickers, and then we're going to go right sides together, you know, to make a half square triangle. So I've got 2 of these, and 2 make 4 half square triangles because they're going to get cut. I'm going to go this way, and so actually, because where's my template? Because I'm not sewing on the line here, I actually need to sew a 1/4 inch from the line, right? For a half square triangle, I need to sew a 1/4 inch from the line. So I need to move my laser over to the left-hand side first. That's the side I'm going to sew on first. That way, that's the line I'm sewing on. Just going to get this. So I'm keeping the center lined up with the laser, which is a 1/4 inch over now. Just going to put the presser foot down and keep that laser line right on that center mark. And okay, and the next one. So there I just skipped that step of having to sew. I'm going to chain piece these. I've just skipped the step of having to draw that line on, which is nice. So I'm keeping my eye down here by the laser, not at the needle. That way I know I'm sewing a 1/4 inch on either side of that laser line. And then I can flip it around. And now I'm going to sew again a 1/4 inch on the other side of the line. So I need to needle down. I'm going to line the laser up to go on the other side of the needle line now. So a 1/4 inch on the other side. So you just adjust the laser over to where you need it to be straight. You can unscrew it a little bit so it's looser. That way I've got maximum control over where that beam goes. Just wanting to travel over. There we go. We're right on that line now. Don't need the template. And so now I'm going to keep that center point right on the laser beam. And off we go. Oh, I came unthreaded. Needle up. This thin thread, I'll tell you, I love Deco Bob for piecing. It keeps your seams nice and straight, but it's so thin. It's so thin that it's like just a whisper on there. So sometimes just the wind can take it. All right. Just keeping my eye on the end there. And again, letting that laser be the center here. And just sewing straight along. Okay, this one I kind of swerved, honestly. I do have a little seam ripper in here, so I'm going to just do this one more time before I turn the laser off. I kind of swerved at the end, and I want it to be nice. It's the first one I'm making in our block of the month club, so I want to make sure I have it nice. So that's what we're doing here is launching the homemade 2024 block of the month. And what that means is initially you'll get your box in the mail and it's going to have the Barn Star book in it, the one that I'm following tonight. And it's going to have all of the fabric for the first 2 blocks, along with some thread. And what am I doing? I just like swerved again. I think like I put my hand, because I'm trying to move it for the camera, but then when I put my hand on here, then the laser goes on my hand. And so then I'm like, ah. All right, so let me just take this out and do it one more time. Yeah, so the block of the month, you initially sign up. It's $149, gets you in the club, and we're going to ship this out mid-January, and we're going to start on the final Monday of the month. and we're going to do a Facebook Live just like this, where we sew the blocks together. And no sweat if you're going to sew at a different time. You're welcome to do it whenever you want to do it. But I'll log in here and show you how to make the block. I'm just going to snip this thread. I think it's like catching here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the last Monday of the month, I'll do a live and we'll make another block together. And by the end of the 10 months, on month 11, we don't ship you anything. So it's only 10 months of $39.95. And we will send you the blocks, or you can pick them up in store. And let me just make sure this is right. I'm like talking and not concentrating, you guys. Aha, the laser moved over. There we go. That's better. So, and then on the 11th month, we put the quilt top together, or start anyway, just to give everybody a little oomph and a little motivation to keep going. And, you know, part of what we love doing here is the community of making together. So, yeah. I'm just recalibrating that laser because it's starting to float over. There we go. Okay. So if you're not using the laser and you're wanting to just make half square triangles the old-fashioned way, you would just draw a line straight down. Oh my gosh, am I not threaded? Jen, come on. How long does it take to make 2 half square triangles? But I don't want to exclude anyone who's not using the laser. So if you're doing it the old-fashioned way, you can just grab your ruler. I'm just going to grab one here. Grab your ruler, and I like these for half square triangles too. These half square triangle rulers, especially when you're using the HP foot. You can just draw on either side of the line. And when you draw on either side of the line, then you just sew on that line. So you line up the yellow, and then one line, and then your other line. And then you're just going to sew right on those lines. So the one's already done because I did it with the laser. And then this one I'll just do here now that I'm rethreaded. Let's make sure. One. This machine is not liking something. You know how sometimes your machine just is like, nope, not going to do it. That's what's happening here. All right, I'm going to, when that happens, abort ship and just start rethreading because something's up when it's not. I'm just sewing it and it's not engaging. So going in, up and around. Little dental flossing to make sure it's in there and not panicking. It'll all be fine. Thread it again. Make sure it's behind both of those bars. That's something that often trips people up. It's the bar above the needle and then like right before the needle up here, and then the bar right above the needle. And drop it in. There we go. And because this is so pointy, it might just need like a liter fabric or something like that, but I'll start in a little bit and hold on to my, there we go. Okay. Jeez. I swear, we'll be better in the Block of the Month Club. Okay. My rotary cutter is sitting here somewhere too. I'm kind of a real mess here tonight of not having the supplies at the ready. We've been doing so much crafting that sometimes at this point of the night, who knows, right? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these in two, just as you would with any half square triangle. So that's what will be good about this kind of thing for beginners is if you've never done a quilt before, you can follow along, and I will be showing you how to make the block. So maybe if you want you and a friend to join, but your friend's never made a quilt before, at least you guys will both have some instruction. Plus, you're getting the book, which is great. Okay, so we are going to open these up, and we are pressing toward, we're going to trim them to 2.5, and we're pressing towards the purple, so towards the dark side. And I'm just going to go ahead and press them with my little roller here, just to keep things moving quickly. And then we can trim off those little dog ears. So I'm pressing towards the purple. All right, who's registering for the club? I see some people already saying they're in, they love this quilt. We've had a bunch of people in store pre-register for it. We only have enough books for 40 people right now. So 40 people will get in right away to the club. We're doing the Barn Star sampler. This is the quilt that we're making. And it's $159.95 and then $39.95 per month. And we ship you every month everything you need. And we're going to make this gorgeous sampler quilt. And it's humongous, you guys. 80 by 100 is the size. It's beautiful. So great for the bottom of the bed. It'll be ready next year around this time because we're going to do about 2 blocks a month, really. It's called a Block of the Month Club, but you're going to get enough fabric for 2 block patterns. And some of the block patterns, you need more than one. And so we're going to go through it month by month. And, you can see this one and this one match. So we'll make, 2 at once. And some of the blocks you can see here, I've done this one already. They're enormous. I love big blocks like this. And then you pair them with like some tiny little ones, like the small little one that we're making tonight. And I just love the way this comes together. It's, it's a modern version of a traditional quilt. And I think it's just gorgeous. All right, so I'm straightening these out with my little seam roller here. And if you have any questions about the Block of the Month Club, for example, if you already have the book and you just want the kit, just reach out to us at info@homemade.ca. And Amanda will get back to you, or I'll get back to you, and we can make arrangements. If you want the book only because you already have the fabric, we can make that happen too. But right now we've got 40 spaces available in the Block of the Month Club. And we may have more depending on, how many people register, how many people want in. So yeah, we may have a few more. But if you want into the 2024, we can show you the graphic. If you want into the 2024 Block of the Month Club, it's going to start at the end of January, and we are making that Barn Star Quilt. And I've been wanting to make this for quite some time. It's absolutely stunning. Measures 80 by 100. So it's slightly larger than a queen, or around a queen. So, it's a full bed-size quilt, and it's just amazing. Just amazing. It's the kind of quilt we couldn't do in a retreat because there's so many different blocks. But once a month, getting together and doing it on live like this, that's very doable. But having to teach every block as a pre-recorded video is not really, like, there's just so many of them. There would be an endless number of videos. Okay, so we need to trim these to 2.5 by 2.5. I'm just going to get back to my instruction page here. And let's just see what I'm measuring out here. 2.5 by 2.5. We got lots of room to trim. So I'm just going to grab a little bit bigger of a ruler. How many of you have participated in a Block of the Month club before? I've done one other sampler quilt, and I loved getting the fabric in the mail every month. You never knew what fabric was coming, but you knew it was going to work with whatever else you had. So that was a really fun treat. I've only ever done one time, so I'm excited to do this one with you guys. Let's just make sure 2.5 by 2.5. So I'm lining up my ruler here, and I'm taking that diagonal line and I'm running that diagonal line right across the diagonal here until I get to 2.5. So 1, 2.5, and then I see how much I've got that I can trim off. So this is going to take off the dog ears at the same time. And if you have a rotating mat, this is a great time to use it. I do, but I won't go searching for more stuff. And get this right on 2.5. There's quite a lot of fabric in this quilt. Like I said before, we've got enough for 40 right now. And we've cut those kits, and 21 yards of fabric. I think there's, I want to say almost 20 different fabrics in 28, I think 28. Yeah. 28 different fabrics in the kit, and they all work perfectly together. So this has been no small feat putting this together. I know you might be saying, oh, I'll just buy the book, or and I'll do it that way. But let me tell you, there's, like I said, 28 different fabrics, and they call for specific types of low volume prints so that you get the same look that they've got on the front of the quilt. So let us do some of that lifting for you, because there'd be nothing worse than putting this together after a full year and kind of looking at it going like, I don't love how it all came together. We don't want that to happen. So the box will be great. You guys will love the organizational stuff in there, and the thread, again, all of the fabric. And you're going to get your own copy of this book. And the book has extra quilt patterns in it too. And so you'll have those for future. And one is as nice as the next. It's really, really, really lovely. All right, give us a little fold, a little wonky on my seam there. Let's see if I need to resew that one or if I can get away with it. 2.5. Okay, I'm just getting away with it. Go this way. Do you guys talk to yourself when you quilt? Oh, I just pretend you guys are here with me, and there we go. Trimmed, and then that little dog ear. And one more. This one is definitely a little off. Let's see. Yes. I just sewed a little off the, remember the one I had to back stitch when it came unthreaded? That's this one. So rather than have a wonky square, I'm best to just try again. Flatten it out. And just give it a go. Make sure we're flush. This HP foot is so nice. Let me know if you have the HP foot and if you've ever made a quilt with it. It's HP stands for high performance. And, oh yeah, that's better. Sometimes it's just like the tiniest bit, if you're off on your half square triangle, makes it kind of wonky. So even if you've already trimmed it, it's worth fixing if it's too far off. But I like that in this book, they give you, well, we're going to give you enough fabric, but they allocate enough that you trim rather than always have to sew your blocks to be the perfect size. Instead, you're trimming them. Everything's going to look, when it comes together, so much nicer when you have a pattern that allows for trimming. So that's what this one does. And there we go. Okay, those are the 4 half square triangles, which took about 5 times longer than they should have. There we go. All right, let's go on to the next. Jason, how much time have we been rolling for here? Does it say? Oh, okay. I wonder why. Yeah, maybe on the very side. Just click off of the screen. Then I know we're not going to go over an hour. All right, not to worry. Okay, let's see. Now we're going to take C and D, and we're going to make this sort of special kind of unit here. So I'm taking 1 C square and 1 D square, and we're going to make this sort of a diagonal unit. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit on the overhead. We're pretty wide here, so that we can be seeing a little more up close of what we're doing. So I'm going to lay this one here, and you can kind of see in the book, we're going across this way this time. And I'm going to just mark this line, which is just over from the center. Actually, we want to sew on the center line here, I think. Sew a C square to the left end of the D. Sew an E square. Yeah. So we're sewing right on the center line. Or are we drawing and cutting? Let me just read this out loud. Sew a C square to the left and the D piece. Yeah. So we're going to sew right on the line. So unlike a half square triangle, we're going right on this line, and then we'll cut a 1/4 inch off. And then same with the other side here. So I'm going to just bring this over and sew right on that line. Again, if you have the laser, you wouldn't have to do that marking. And do we need to make a couple of these? Make 4. So I'll go ahead and do all of these sides at one time. And I'm just going to draw right across. And draw across. If you have a machine with a knee lifter, this is the time to use it when you're chain piecing. Especially if your machine doesn't have an automatic presser foot lift. Okay. And now I'm just going to cut. And we're going to cut just a 1/4 inch from that sewn line. Flip it this way. Got my line. Line up that 1/4 inch mark. There we go. This one. And sometimes I like to just shortcut it. Where's the other one? There we go. And do them all at one time. As long as it's lined up, I don't mind taking a couple shortcuts. There, let me do them all at once. And then we're pressing towards the larger, sorry, we're pressing towards the white. I think, let me just see here. Yes. Yeah. Pressing towards the white. And then we can take our E piece and sew it on the other side. Except for this time, we're going up. So we're sewing our line this way, so we end up with sort of this kind of diagonal stripe going down, which is kind of a cool way to do the pinwheel. You'll see when we assemble it how that works. So I'm going to turn the laser back on here so I don't have to draw on there. I'm going to line it right up in the center. Needle down, get that laser right in the middle. Put the presser foot down so it stays straight. Line up that laser. And then once you've found your middle spot, you just screw it in. There we go. And now I'm going to sew on that laser line right down the center. Not have to worry about drawing that line on. And then the end measurement here, we have to trim to 2.5 by 4.5. All right, get these scraps out of the way. And so you can see here when I open this up, how it's making that diagonal unit. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off 1/4 inch away from the line. Let us know in the comments if you're registering for the block of the month. I'm dying to know who's going to be in it with us. I know we've got some local Kingston people who are already registered for it. I'm excited to have them try out some of our online stuff because they'll be new to the online homemade community because they just learned about us by coming into the shop. And I'm excited for our online people to have a little something new every month to look forward to. And I'm just pressing this towards the purple. And of course, I will press these on the actual iron. I'm just getting these going like this for now because it's quick. Okay, next up, we are sewing our half square triangles to our remaining squares, and then we're going to be almost set to put this together. So let's make this unit. So we're going right sides together and right sides together like this. And I'm going to chain piece these. And sorry, I'm not paying super close attention to the comments, you guys. I know you're just watching along, but I'll go back through afterwards if there's any questions about anything. And if you have any questions about the block of the month, it's $159 to register, and that gets you the book and a bunch of treats, a few goodies, you know what I mean, the thread, and the organizational stuff. And we've got 40 spots in the club right now. And so you will need to move fast to get the spots. So you'll register today, $159, and then it's $39.95 a month. And we ship you all of the fabric. There's 21 yards of fabric in this quilt. And that's just the quilt top, you guys. That's kind of nuts. That's a lot of fabric. All right, so I'm just pressing towards the half square triangle here. And there's 28 different prints in the Barn Star. So if you're just tuning in, we're launching the 2024 Block of the Month Club from Homemade. This is a new thing for us, and I'm loving the idea of a once a month we gather, and by this time next year, we'll have this quilt top all done. And it's a mammoth. Like, this is the kind of quilt that you're going to want a little bit of accountability on. You're going to want other people joining in with you, because it is such a big undertaking. And it is the kind of thing that if you work on it, 1 month at a time, you'll get done. It's not the kind of one where there's a lot of like efficiencies in making, all of these different, with some of our retreat quilts, you can be making and cutting all the same thing over and over and over. But with this one, because nearly every block is different, it's perfect for a block of the month, because you're always going to be making something new. So I'm just going to press these so that everything's laying nice and flat before I try to bring it all together. Turn up my iron a bit. So I've participated, as I was saying, in one block of the month that got shipped to me every month. And and it was also based on, I can't remember the name of the pattern, but I love that this one, you're getting the entire book. And there's lots of extra patterns in the book too. So you could be making this, but you could also be making something else right away. Okay, now we're going to assemble the little sub blocks that make up this block. The little kind of looks like a wing here. And so we should have one more. All right, so we'll lay out our little block here. It's going to look so cute. What am I missing? What am I missing? So we're going to make 4 of these, and then as we turn them, they'll come together. So there we go. There we go. So that's right sides together. And right sides together. And then these ones. Always lay out your block, because sometimes your eyes can play tricks on you. So just lay it out and then you'll know it's right. All right, let's get our right sides together. And you know, some months you'll have to make like 2 or even 3 of these smaller little blocks. And some months you'll have to make 2 big blocks. But once you kind of get on a roll, I think you're going to love it. All right. So we'll put a link in the comments for registering for the block of the month. Like I said, we've got 40 spots right now. It will ship out mid-January, and we're going to start the last Monday in January. Oh, I'm supposed to flip. I'm supposed to roll towards the larger side. I'll bring this over to the iron. Almost done. I'm just going to get this block, the final seams here. Can lay out the whole thing. So they should measure 4.5 by 4.5. So I can just take a look and trim if I need to. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Yeah, that's pretty much right on the money. But always good to have a little trim. That way everything's nice and crisp. One, 2, 3, 4.5. This one definitely could use a little trimming. The trimming is when you see what your seams are made of. Are they wonky or are they straight? All right, not bad. Let's do this one too. And then go this way. go. And just trimming this to 4.5. We don't want to cut the points off, so you can trim from the other side if that's going to keep your points intact. I think I got a dull blade here. We've been doing so much sewing around here. Blades get dull pretty quick. All right, this side needs a little help. This side needs to get ironed into submission. Sometimes that's the way it goes. Okay. All right, so lay out your block. You get a look at how it's going to come together. Aw, so cute. Okay, right sides together. Make sure you don't flip your seams as you are sewing your block. You've pressed them a certain direction. You want them to stay in that direction. And I know some of you are saying, oh, I'm doing the Hexie Snowball. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. Our quilting retreat quilt is also on right now, so I totally get it. This one, though, I'm going to guess that you're going to surge ahead on your Hexie Snowball quilt, and that this will give you a little something to work on specifically only at certain times of the month. Whereas your Hexie Snowball quilt, you may be working on sort of consistently as the group is working on finishing the entire thing. Here, you finish your block and you're done. You can't move on until we ship you the next one anyway. So we're going to nest these seams now. I'm just going to take it to the ironing board. One goes one way, one goes the other. That way our points meet nicely in the middle. And that Deco Bob thread is keeping everything nice and flat. This is going to go this way. Okay, and this is our last one. We can nest these seams. And so I'll just grab a little pin. Nesting the seams means butting the two together that are pressed in opposite directions so that they lock together nicely. And then right sides together and off we go. And here is our pinwheel star. Oh, so cute. The fabrics look beautiful together. I'm going to press this. And hey, I'm one block in. There are 20 different blocks in the Block of the Month Club, but a few of them you need to make 2. Some of these little small ones you need to make 3. So this one you'll get enough to make 3 of these little stars. And when we're making it in the club, we will make all 3 at the same time. just to save time and keep it as efficient as possible. So I hope you'll be joining me for the 2024 Block of the Month Club. You can register now, and we're making the Barn Star sampler quilt, and we are going to send you the entire book along with all of the fabric to make the Barn Star quilt. It's going to be starting basically at the beginning of February. Last Monday of the month, we will do a free live, and this is our Block of the Month Club for 2024. So I appreciate you guys tuning in for the launch. It's been fun making my little tiny little block and pairing it up with my big block. But that's how this quilt is going to go, and it's going to be fantastic. So thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you again in a little while.